Hey there, folks. Welcome to day 78 of my year of solo board gaming, described by myself to be ill-advised and stupid. And one of the reasons that I felt like it was going to be ill-advised and stupid is because I also publish a puzzle magazine, and I'll put a link down in the description. The next issue of that goes out tomorrow, which is also day 78. So I am behind the eight ball here. I'm trying to record this before I have to start getting ready for my other job, and get this knocked out so that way you have a video for tomorrow. Otherwise, that will not be the case. And I'm doing Welcome To. We finished up The Future is Bleak week, so I figured we'll start the Welcome To week. This is going to be all 7 variants that I have of Welcome To, including the zombie one, which we played before. But this will be the apocalyptic version. We have the regular version here. We've got the zombie version, as we've seen before, Easter egg version, summer version, Halloween version, and winter version. So we'll be doing all 7. Pretty much, Welcome To is one of my favorite games. I really enjoy it. We have the Alexis variant here. And what we're going to do, so this is my second recording, and originally I was going to do level 2, but I think the way that I want to do this is I want to do level 3. So what I'm going to start off on level 3, because we're doing Welcome To all this week. What I'll do is I'll make it so that if I lose today, we'll do level 2 tomorrow. And if I win, we'll do level 4. And we'll just basically keep going up and see where I end at the end of the week. In the comments below, put where you think I'll end up. And feel free to write 1 and for most of the week. And that's pretty much where we stand. So you take the deck for the solo mode. You split it roughly in half, like this. Move a few cards around until you have it roughly half. Then you take the 3 contract cards, the number 1, number 2, and number 3. Shuffle that into the bottom of the deck. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Supposedly, according to math, it takes 7 shuffles of 52 cards. If you have 52 cards, it takes 7 shuffles to ensure every random possibility is achievable. Like for true randomness. We're going to give this one more shuffle. I'm not going to look at the top card. I'm really not. I'm actually like looking up there, as you can see. So that's the top of the deck. The top of the deck is now on. All right, there we go. Now the idea is that you're going to have some time to get through the deck to complete one of these contracts. But if you get to one of the contract cards and the Alexis player has indicated that it completes that contract, then it will complete that contract, and then you have to reshuffle. Now, in this case, what it's indicating is that it will not complete the first contract, but it will complete the second. So the second one that we run into, it's going to complete, and if it completes one before us, that initiates the second part of the game, where we shuffle the discards back into the deck. Now, the reason that I'm doing this as a second time is I shuffled Alexis's cards back into the deck instead of the discards, and that completely threw off the game. So my goal is, originally I was going to do 2 of these. It is now going to be do 1 of these. I'm going to move this microphone so you can hear me a little bit better. I'm not sure if you could hear me before. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. So our first group, and just so you know the goals that we have available to us. The first person to get 50 in the bunker, 50 in their bunkers overall, will complete contract 3. Now the Alexis player will get, at the end of the game, will count for having 35, 40, and 50, which is an insane amount. 35, 45, and 50, which is an insane amount. Like for this one, you kind of have to put a 9 here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, or 8, 12, and 15 in these bunker ones to even tie, which is insane. So unless you do like a roundabout to help sort of break things up a little bit, you got to be judicious. This first contract is just simply complete the top row, and the second one is complete all the pools and the parks on the second row. So these 3 parks, and then these parks over here. What we have is 2, 8, 6, and I think our best bet is simply to fill in this as much as possible. So we have 2, 8, and 6. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 8 and the 6. And what I found in the previous game that I did is that if I did an 8 here, I could do 12 and 15 and get 35 for the row. So I'm going to do 8 here. Now that means that I've got 8 already in the bunkers, and we're going to complete a park. And I do actually want to check It's probably a dumb thing to do. I should have looked at the number 3, what they are looking for as far as cards. They want this purple much more than the parks. They don't care about the parks at all. But I care about the parks. We definitely don't want to make sure. We definitely want to make sure they don't get pools. Pools are going to hurt us. All right, parks less so. So now we got a 10, a 6, and a 7. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be aggressive here on filling in this top row. We're going to use the 10 and the 6. We're going to make this 10 a 12 using the temp ability. We have used the temp. Mark that off. And now we got 20 people saved. And these will go here. And then it will get a worthless park. I like the parks. I like cleaning up on the parks. But, you know, you got to change your gameplay when you're doing this. Now we got a 12, a 2, and a 3. Now this could be anything, honestly. Like, we could do whatever we want. The highest, the thing it really wants is this red card. So we're going to use that. And I think what we're going to do is we're also going to close this off. We're going to put a divider in there. And I think we're going to do a three property divider. We'll do 3 here. Do a divider here. Now I'll use these 2 cards. And then the 12 will go here. Now that it's still 2 cards total, 2 points total, which is more than I'd like. But all right, so 6, 12, and 10. Oh, and I forgot to write the 12 actually in here. So I think what I want is, this time I'm going to go 10. I don't even need the bis. Like, I don't want to use the bis at all. So I want to use the 12. So I think what I need to do is I need to do the 12 down here so I get some points for the... But then if I do the 12 here, it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's too many. I could do 12 here. 12 here makes sense. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, let's do 12 here. So that'll be that. And then I think I'll go ahead and use this to mark off... I was going to do properties of 3, but let's do properties of 2 because that's easier. That's going to be easier to make. So that was those 2. Now the gate will go back here. Gate 5, 6, and 8. 5, 6, and 8. So our best bet is to give it the 8 because that's a park and it doesn't want the park. That means we'll want to use the 6 and a gate. The 6 and a gate's going to be tough to put in somewhere. But I think we'll go here. So we get that filled in. And we're using this. So let's go ahead. Let's aggressively go for these 2s. We'll do 1 there and 1 there. So let's cross this off. We'll see how well we do there. That's that. And currently we are at, let's just keep an eye on how far we're doing on this 50. How well we're doing on the 50. We've got 18 and 30, or 18 and 20, so that's 38. I'm off center again. I do not know why this camera keeps turning on me. I really don't. Probably because I'm shuffling it somehow. 9. Now we definitely do not want to let it get the pool. And we can't use the 9 to fill in that pool right there. We can here, and I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a 7. We're going to fill in this pool so that we can get closer to doing the second contract. So we got that filled in. So that was 7 and 9, and it keeps the 5. Purple, not a great card for it to keep because it does get 2 points for that. All right, we got 11, 5, and 2. So we're definitely going to leave it the park. So the discards will come back to us. I think I'm going to keep the 5 in the discards and give it the 2. Probably not a good idea. 9, 10, and 9. We definitely want to use the pool, and I can do a 9 pool here. That's probably the smart way to go, and then give it the purple card, I guess. None of those were going to be good, just simply because of the fact that it was 2, 3, and 5 for the point value, so that's the lowest it can get. We can give it. It's 2 points. 5, 8, and 11. All right. 5, 8, and 11. We're going to go here. And we're going to go here with the gate. So that's those 2 cards. And where does that leave us in terms of total saved? We have 23, 29, 49. We need one more, and we'll have saved 50 people. And the reason that that is important is that I'd like to be able to shuffle it before it the contract comes up. So we got 12, 13, and 3. So I definitely going to do 13 here, just so we can knock this out. That's another pool. We'll get those for points. That's just a nice opportunity right there. We could have gone 13 down here, automatically completed that contract, but I'm going to hold out here for a little bit more. 13, 8, and 12. This is where we'll do the 13 in here. We're going to go ahead and complete one more level here. Using the 8, it gets the 12, which it finds worthless. And we have completed the first contract. So we're going to cross on, make a little line here in each of these, and we'll get the 10 points. And I haven't done the rest of the lines. I did on the other version of this sheet that I started. All right, there we go. All right, so now we shuffle the discards in, and I have to be very careful about this. I don't want to repeat of last time. But the reason that that's important is it does cut down on the number of cards that the Alexis player will get. And really, it is a numbers game. The Alexis player can get a lot of cards accumulated, especially if, for example, in this one, it wouldn't have completed anything until the second contract. And if it had gotten to that point, we'd be through most of the deck. This way, at least, it's a little bit more minimal. Now, really aggressively speaking, you could complete the third objective here in 4 turns if you got, high enough cards on the first 4 turns and wanted to fill in the bunkers. But that's how I like to do it. It's also worth noting that we have, I think, 36 saved on the last row there, which means that we would need 14 in there. We could do if we did a little roundabout. It allows you to restart the numbering on the street, which is a huge thing. You kind of need to do that if you want to save as many people as possible. But I think I'm okay if I can tie the Alexis player on this street and still have the lowest, and maybe tie on this street. I don't know. It'd be nice. It'd be good. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get started again. We're going to do 8, 7, and 7. So probably want to give it the 7 of Parks, which means that we'll want the 8 and the 7 here. I think what I want to do is I still do want to actually get this completely filled in. I can't raise this high enough to fill in this spot here, unfortunately. I could lower it and fill this spot in over here. I could take the 8 as is, put that right there. I think I'm going to take this. I'm going to lower the 7 to a 5 so that I'm using the temp. We'll complete that contract, and they'll get the 7. The useless 7 for them. 13, 10, and 8. All right, so 10 would probably be my best bet. I think of all the cards, the gate is the defense is the lowest that it can take. We'll do 10 here. And then we have a gate that we get to use as well. No, we want to use 13. We want to use the temp agency. Now, technically, you can raise it 0 points. That's useful in a case like this where you don't really need to change it. I'll go in the discard. And number 2. So this means that we've come to the first Alexis contract card. It will now look at the first contract. It will say, the number 2 card, that's the contract I'm going to try for, but I'm not going to. The little X through there means that it fails to complete that contract. So we're going to discard that. We're going to look at the rest of these. 7, 4, and 8. It's all purple. So whichever one I don't use. I don't want to put it there because that's going to lose the pool. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do an 8 down here. And we'll do 4 for the... Let's do 4 on the 4. And then if we can fill this in up here, that'll be great. So that was an 8, and then either of these doesn't really matter. It's not going to affect the Alexis at this point. Got a gate, park, and a 6. We definitely want the 15. We want the 15. Now we can go as high as 17 on the house numbers, which would be good to get 16 there and then fill that in. But then we need, I think that's going to be too difficult. We're going to do 15. We're just going to go ahead and go for it. That'll tie us at the very least. Now we can either go gate or bis. And I think what I want to do is I really don't want to do bis. I really don't. We're going to do gate, as stupid as that is. Close this off and we'll go for another 4 there. I know I'm giving it points, but I don't want to lose points. It's stupid. I'm stupid. I'm a very stupid player. You should know that by now. 14. All right, so we can go 14 here. We'll lose the pool, which is unfortunate. But I kind of want to get this closed off as soon as I can. We could go 5 down here and just draw on a line. Ideally, we'd give it the 10 because the 10 doesn't really mean anything to it. Although I do like the idea of getting the park. I don't think I'm going to be able to complete the second objective because I keep shying away from these. I could do... Let me just check the rules on doing the roundabouts real quick. Because I will tell you, I never do roundabouts. I never do. Before or after building a house or an after taking effect, the player can choose to create one of the 2 available roundabouts. Create an empty house. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do that. We're actually going to do that. We're going to do one here. We're going to draw some lines. We're going to do a 14 here. And that's going to give me 50 total. That means I actually tied it twice, which means I should have been able, I should have done a little bit better. And we'll go ahead and use the gate on this. And I think what we'll do is we'll split it. Which side do I think I'm going to be able to complete? I think I'm going to be able to complete this side first. So we'll draw a line there, and hopefully we'll be able to complete that. And then it gets the useless park for 10. How are we doing on keeping the image straight? 11, 12, 5. We can raise something by 2, which is nice. We've got a 5 there, 12 there. The one I'd prefer it keep is the gate. Kind of like to raise that up a little bit. I haven't really done much with this row at all. And I think that kind of needs to be where my next objective is. I could aggressively try to fill these in with fairly high totals. I can do... Oh, and I need to cross off that I use one of the roundabouts. I think that's what I fill in. Sorry, that's not what I was supposed to fill in. Stet. It's one of these. Right? Yeah, you can do 2. You can use 2. That basically means I'm going to lose 3 points. Probably not the best idea then that I did that. If I do the other one, I'll lose 8 points, and I don't want to lose that much. That's why I don't usually do the roundabouts. I'm okay with losing on this one. So what do I want to do here? I want to get this 5 here, I think. And we'll go ahead and use the temp so that we're just giving it the bis, or giving it the real estate agent one, the purple one. Bis 1, 7, and 8. All right, so 1, 7, and 8, I can do. I may as well do the 8 here. That fills in that, and we'll go ahead and raise that by 1, and we'll give it the bis, which. Stupid, but because it's not what I should be giving it. This one we're going to use the pool and this 13. We're going to use 6 and the pool, like one of those 2. I do not want it taking one of the pools. We can do 6 down here. We'll do 6 down here because that actually completes a 4 block. Trying to make sure this all stays in frame as well. Doesn't like the park, what's wrong with you? 13, 9, and 7. So this means I can raise it by... I can use the 9 here to raise this by 2, but then I give it the pool, and I don't want to do that. I can use the 7. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 9 here as a pool. That's one more pool. And we're going to give it a 13. And I'm also almost completed that block right there too. That'll be a plus. And that can be anything, which is nice. I'm going to keep that open for a while. 3, 10, and 4. So 3 could go down here. Fill that in. What's the either of these are going to be worth 3 points, so it doesn't really matter. I think what I want to do is I want to do 3 in the pool. Because I can't do 10. Yeah, it's going to be 3 in the pool. Yeah, and part of the problem here is that I've kind of like trapped myself in terms of the lower end of what I can write in. Unless I do the other roundabout, which I would prefer not to do. 2, 3, 7. And you see where this is starting to become a problem, is that I got such low cards here that it's going to be really difficult to work with. I may have to do that other roundabout, which I really do not want to do. I'm going to go ahead and do the 7. I'm going to do the 3 and the temp agency, which I really don't want to do. And then that way it takes the 2 and the gate. Just going to run into problems here. 1. Can I get some cards that are actually like high enough? All right, 11. I'm going to do the 11 and the 9 here and fill this in. It's one more pool, which I'm doing really well on. I'm knocking it out as far as the pools go. 15, 6, and third contract. So it will go ahead and complete this for 5 points. It will not complete either of the other ones. So that's actually a plus. 10. 5, 6, and 10. So 10 I could put here. 15 I can do in a number of different places. I could go 15 up here. I could go... Can't complete this, unfortunately, which is what I'd really like to do. I suppose I might as well go for the 10 here, just because it is so difficult to really work that in. Let's go ahead and do the 10 here, just so that we have that marked off. Worst comes to worst, I'm going to do a roundabout there. And we'll raise this up. So that's 15. 11, 1, and 4. These are garbage. I really need some high cards. So I said I was going to do this as a roundabout, which I really don't want to do because that's going to basically take away 5 more points. But I'm almost to the point where I can fill that in completely. All right, so then I'm going to do, I think, it doesn't really matter what I do. I could just do 4, I think. And then no matter what, I'm taking the gate as the other one. Let's cross this off, and hopefully I can finish that off. And then it gets a useless park. Starting to get a little concerned here, though. 14, 5, and 9, I'm going to go for the obvious one, and that is going to be 14 plus a gate, which I will do here, just in case I don't get that last one, because that's going to be difficult to get. And then it will take a useless park. 23 minutes, and the camera shifted on me again. 5, 7, 9. That is just garbage. 9. We need the 9, actually. And as much as I don't want to give the gate, I do want to get some points for the parks, so we'll go ahead and fill that in. And it will take a 7. Plus, I kind of like making sure it gets a number of gates just so that there are, like that's the last contract, which it is not complete. 8, 12, and 12. Let's see, for this, I think I'm kind of screwed. I'm going to go with 12. We'll go 12 and 12 here. We'll go 12. That'll fill that in. And we'll use the pool thing, even though we don't have a pool that we're filling in. And then we'll give it the park. Now I think, as far as I remember, the Alexis mode, it does not. We don't mark it as game end if. Yeah, construction deck runs out, or one of the three regular endgame rules is fulfilled. Now, it has not completed all 3 contracts, so we don't count that. 11, 11, and 13. 13 is Abyss, and at this point, I have to take a permit refusal because I cannot build any of these. So I'm going to have to mark that as... Now it's a 0. So now it's... And I have to give it something, so I'm going to give it the 11 here. This is where things are going to start getting really bad because I have to basically just start doing permit refusals. I have no place to put anything. I never did get anything that would be good for that 15 up there. Maybe I'll get it on this last one. That would be nice. Because that's the permit refusal. Or the 6. Yeah, that's going to be the game. Because I can't get anything high enough to put into one of these spots. I've already done my 2 roundabouts, so that is it. I will go ahead and give it the park, because that is useless for it, but I will take my 3rd permit refusal, and that is the game. That is the end of the game, so let's see how we did. I unfortunately did not complete this top row here, which is frustrating as hell. Really should have, and I didn't actually put a name in here, so let's call this Doomsday. All right, let's see how we did. So 0 for that, 0 for that, 0 for that, 0 for that. So I got 10 points, he got 5, she got 5. As far as the total goes, we have 12, 20, 29, 35, and 50. So I technically had fewer, so I will get the little bonus here for 10. And then we split 2 of them, and it gets the other one. So I think the way that works out is that it's a wash. I'm just going to write 20 and 20. For the parks, I get 4 for the top, 2 for the next one, and then nothing for the bottom. So that'll give me 6. For the pools, I just make sure I did this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I forgot to mark one off, so that'll give me 26. For the temp, if I remember correctly, where is this? Where did the solo go? Scoring. Oh, so we count how many ever it has, and then we'll figure out from there. For the estates, I'll get 4 for each 2, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 20. That's nice. And then that did not complete. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those for 28. And then finally, I don't have any BIS, so I won't lose any points there, but I will lose 13 points there. So my total, we have to figure that out first, so let's do that. Let's see. So it's going to score 0 for parks, so we'll just write 0 here. For pools, it's going to get 5. We'll just do a count through of each type to figure out how many it's got. So I don't think I gave it any pools. Yeah, I gave it no pools. Can actually sort of spread this out like this. If you know, I'm not sure how readable this will be on screen. I think you can actually look at the back. It's probably going to be easier if I just do it on the back. You have to make sure that you keep the order correct. You don't want to necessarily mess up the. It doesn't matter if you're doing it left to right, right to left, but you do not want to mess up the order. And so this is going to go off screen. Yeah, it's going to go off screen. Sorry about that. All right. So what I can tell you is, looking at it, I was right. We have no pools. So that's a huge plus. It also has no temp agencies. I don't think I gave this a single temp agency, which is amazing. That means I'll get the 7 for the temp agency, and it will get, I don't think, anything. I don't think you actually get anything. Also, no points for the temp agency. So then we go into the purples. Now, for the purples, I got 48, and it will get 2 points for every purple. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I got one more over here. And again, I'm sorry. I know that you can't really see these. Let's line these up down here. All right. And that continues from up here. That way you can see all of them. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it gets 16 points for the purples. For the bis, it's going to get 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 9 cards. 9 points, I mean. And then for the gates, it's going to get an additional 1. Actually, no, that's not how the gates work, I think. Oh, 1 to 3 points for each fence card. So in this case, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points for that. Where do I write that? You know, for some reason, I thought I felt like I actually knew how to write this in so that it made sense. Once upon a time. All right, let me figure out my total first. Now that I know that I got the temp stuff. So that's 30, 36, 62, 69, 89, 117, 130. It's going to get, and I think I've mentioned this before, it's going to get 5 points for the contract to complete it. It's going to get 20 points for the bunkers. It's 25 so far. It's going to get another 16 points for the purples, so that's going to be 41. It's going to get 9 points for the 3 bisses that are in there, so that's 50. Let's mark that down as 50. And then finally, we're going to do the fence cards. That'll be 6, so it's at 56. Right. That's not how I count bisses. Never mind. So this should be 47. And then we count the points for the 5 largest housing estates. Each set of cards between 2 fence cards represents a housing estate. It's the number of houses times its value in points. Oh, so I sort of... Oh, this was unique. This was well designed to really mess with me. So the largest estate. So it's going to have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 estates total because there's only 5 cards here. So we're going to ignore this one. It's the smallest one. It's only 1 house. So essentially, this is 2 houses. There's no real estate, so it's going to count as 2. I've completely lost track of where I am in terms of score. So I think I said 47. It should be 46. I don't know. 2. It's not going to beat 130, so that's a plus. I don't think. This is another state right here. We're going to count this as... I have no idea why there's a tic-tac-toe thing on there. Oh, that's so bizarre. It's going to count this as 3 houses. Oh, there's a gate. There's one there too. So I'm sorry I'm doing such a poor job of doing the scoring on this. Okay. So we don't count that one. It's just 47. This is 2. There's no real estate agent in it, so that's going to count as 3. There are 4 cards here. There's a real estate agent in it, so each house is going to count as 2. That's 8. This is going to count as a 2. That's going to count as a 2, so we can just take one of those. It doesn't really matter which one. And then this over here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times 2 is 20. And this one over here is probably going to be worth the most. And I missed that there's another gate in there. I am sorry that I'm screwing up the scoring on this. It did not beat me, fortunately. because this is worth 10 points. I think this is worth 6 points, and no matter what, if I were to just count up all the cards and just multiply them by 2, it didn't win. So it's 130 to something. We'll just leave it at that. Like 80, I think, maybe. That seems right. This is what the scoring was supposed to be based on. Please feel free to help me figure it out. I am so sorry to be so daft at this. I think it's just I have got to start getting ready for work. I was going to try to do 2 of these today so I could have the one for Sunday. We're already ready. And instead, I'm just kind of messing it all up. So, yay. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? That's what I want to know. I have no idea. All right. I will see you again on Sunday, tomorrow for day 79, which is for me 2 days from now. And hopefully on Sunday I can record a couple of these. And then hopefully on Monday I can record a whole week. That would be nice. Get a whole week out of the way. Folks, thank you all so much for watching me, and take it easy.